You see this video out of Jacksonville, Florida? Young black man, traffic stop, winds up getting a beat down from a bunch of cops. Why? Well, let's talk about it. February, 22-year-old college student, William McNeil, all right? William McNeil Jr. Pulled over, opens the door, says why. They say driving without headlights on during inclement weather and not wearing a seatbelt. McNeil says there was no reason to have his headlights on and asked if he could speak to their supervisor so they could explain the headlight law to him. He then shut his door, remained in the car, and started recording on his cell phone. Here's some of it.
He walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right?
Okay.
And then I said, so what I did wrong?
Yeah.
He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like,
Okay.
there's multiple people headlights off,
Okay,
first of
that's
all.
still a
And
legitimate
then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
Can you pull that law
Yeah,
up?
when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call your supervisor?
Huh?
Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now! Exit the vehicle! Show me your hands.
Here.
1033 at 15 an hour.
I'm here. What is your reason, sir?
Step out.
What is your reason?
Step out now.
All right. No, don't.
Stop fighting!
Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back! Hands behind your back! What's wrong with you?
Reasonable use of force or abuse of force. McNeil was arrested, charged with resisting arrest without violence, driving with a suspended license, and possession of less than 20 grams of marijuana. The officer who punched him was stripped of his law enforcement authority pending an administrative review, but the state attorney's office determined none of the cops violated criminal law without ever conducting an interview with McNeil, by the way. And even if it's not a crime, what about just the professional responsibility of it? Do you have to commit a crime to do your job the wrong way as a cop? I don't think so. Let's bring in William McNeil Jr. and his lawyer, Harry Daniels. I'm sorry to meet you under these circumstances, but thank you for taking the opportunity. Counselor Daniels, thank you for being with me as well.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
All right, William, let's jump right into it, because I know you're okay. I know you're not happy about what happened. I know you're thinking about what to do. But you know what the crux of this is. You didn't listen to the police officers. You were asking for trouble. What do you make of that assessment?
I knew I wasn't getting pulled over lawfully, so I was fighting for my rights, really.
What did you think was going to happen, William?
Initially, I thought when I asked for the supervisor that that's what I would get, the supervisor.
And when you made the decision to not do what they were telling you to do, take me through why you did that.
I was scared. I was very, very frightened and afraid for my life. The first initial cop who pulled me over, he first put his hand on his gun right before I closed my door. That was my reason of closing my door, because he put his hand on his gun, walked towards, pulled me out the car. Don't need to put your hand on the gun. Don't need your gun at all to get me out the car. I obviously didn't show no type of aggression.
I'm told that when we were playing the video, it shook you up even now. Have you not been watching the video since this happened?
I try not to watch the video because I relive the movie almost all the time. And that's a major key reason on why I don't sleep as much at night. Really don't eat as much.
Well, this is not an easy thing to go through, period. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are around it, whether it's right, whether it's wrong. It looks horrible, and I had to feel horrible. And I appreciate you wanting to talk about it. What would you say to the officers, William, if you had the chance to talk to them about what happened and why it happened? What do you want them to know?
I don't want to talk. What I would say is that they should be ashamed to carry the badge. No, they should be ashamed to be an officer, especially if they went under oath to serve and protect us as citizens. And they do this for years, since almost the beginning of their career. You know, I feel like they should be held accountable for their actions.
Counsel, let me bring you in here real quick. What is the legal line for you, and what do you make of the assessment of the state authorities that say the officers committed no crime?
Chris, that's absolutely ridiculous. You, as a former prosecutor, you and anybody can see this was a criminal act. The fact that they didn't even address or talk to William after the incident, once they became aware of this incident, and choose to just whitewash it like nothing happened to him, it's ridiculous. You know, prosecutors have an oath to be a bachelor of justice, and they failed miserably. Our line is clear. We're going to pursue justice for William. If that's filed a lawsuit, whatever redress that we can take, whatever direction that we can go in order to get justice for Mr. McNeil, because this is happening too much in our nation, and especially in Jacksonville. It's happened a lot. In several cases where black men were stopped because of a pretextual stop, seatbelt violation that leads to death, killings, beatings, and Mr. McNeil is just one of a long list. So we are seeking every avenue to get redress for Mr. McNeil.
What do you make of the, hey, listen to the officers, none of this happens?
You know, I think William makes a great point. You know, as Chris, if it's broad day outside, I tell you as an officer, hey, you need to come outside because it's night. You should be very suspicious at that time. And I think William was very suspicious as when the officer. In fact, if you listen to the video, William tells the officer that, hey, it's not raining. He said, well, it doesn't matter. So at that point, you know, in coming up with your hand on your gun, you may need to talk to a supervisor. Now, I understand the knowledge that you roadside, you know, and try to talk it back and forth with them, where that's completely somebody you can't reason with, officers cannot reason with. It's probably better to comply. But in circumstances, situations where you find yourself in a situation where this guy's had his hand on his gun, he's telling you something that's clearly not true. He had his seatbelt on. So William was very concerned. You're talking about a 22-year-old man. We're not talking about a 40, 50-year-old man. We're talking about a 22-year-old kid, college student, that's in a position that he's very afraid. He's seen people in Jacksonville, especially people that look like him, once they get out the car, beaten or killed.
William, last thing. If you looked like me, if you were my kid, you think this stop goes the same way?
No, I think it would went very differently.
That's a horrible thing for you to have to believe, and I'm not surprised you do. We'll stay on this as you see it through, and I appreciate you coming on, William. Thank you very much for doing so. And counsel, you know how to get us if there's any development we need to know about, all right?
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, take care. Take care of yourself, William. Take care. All right, now let's bring in the law enforcement side. Look, I am an unapologetic supporter of first responders and of the police. I believe police overwhelmingly do the job the right way. It is hard to see that in this scenario, but let's bring in somebody who did the job under very difficult circumstances after the George Floyd murder, okay? Former Minneapolis police chief, Medario Arredondo, also known as Rondo.
Hey, Chris.
Rondo, thank you for joining me. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's good to have you. Just give me your assessment.
Well, a couple of things, Chris. I really think that now that the criminal piece has been set aside, it's going to focus on Sheriff Waters' internal investigation. And Chris, I think it's going to come down to two critical things. Was the officer in adherence to the training and the policy? And so I think that that internal investigation is going to focus on those two areas. I did not know the counsel that was represented tonight next to Mr. McNeil Jr., but the co-counsel I do know about, Mr. Ben Crump, the attorney. And I will tell you, he's highly experienced and certainly competent in these areas. One of the things, Chris, is that they're going to do a thorough review of that training and policy. You know, what are Jacksonville deputies taught in terms of their training to extract someone from a vehicle? I thought it was interesting in Sheriff Waters' press conference he did when they released the full body camera video, Chris, when he said, had Mr. McNeil Jr. would have filed the complaint immediately, that would have tipped them off to look at this. But he also said, Chris, had we known about the use of force, we would have started this investigation. So that leads me to believe, did the officer in question, did he list, which he should have, and I don't know all what occurred, but if he did not list that he had struck Mr. McNeil Jr., that could be problematic. And so I know that that's something, yeah, go ahead.
But Rondo, here's the thing. I mean, everything you're saying is right, and I appreciate it. But, you know, my daughter brought this to me because this doesn't happen to Bella Cuomo. This doesn't happen. Even if she is a wise ass and doesn't listen to the police. I've taught my kids their whole life the same thing I do. I do not negotiate or argue when I'm pulled over. Not because I think I'm going to get my ass beat. I'm the last guy that's going to happen to. But it's not the time. Do what they tell you to do, and then deal with it with your lawyer. Deal with it when you get to the station. Deal with whatever you want to do. You don't want to blow, and it's a DUI stop, fine, you're going to take an arrest. Just shut up and do what you're told. That's what we tell people to do, right? That's what lawyers tell them. That's what everybody tells them.
Yes.
How can this be okay based on how this guy presented? I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to be difficult. They break the window. They punch him in the face. They then beat the shit out of him outside the car. The guy hits him right away as soon as he's outside. Who's trained to do that? You're trained to de-escalate.
Yeah, Chris, and you said it true. Out of all of the men and women that put on that uniform each and every day, the vast majority do the right thing. But in this profession, Chris, you know this, of all the things that all law enforcement officers do, the one singular thing they're going to be judged the most in their entirety of their career is use of force. And most of us are judged by the body of our work. Well, for a law enforcement officer, it could be that one moment. And Chris, to your point, regardless of the administrative investigation outcome of this, what Sheriff Waters has to also be gauging right now is how much trust has been eroded in that Jacksonville community. And so that's the other thing that you have to look into. And by the way, Chris, as a black man, I still had to give the talk to my son. I wish that we could break that cycle, but that's just a reality in America. But I do believe there's going to be obviously a very thorough. Sheriff Waters has said that he's not going to either condemn or praise the officer until that internal investigation is completed. And I will also say again, Attorney Ben Crump, he is definitely going to dig in to make sure that there was accordance to the training and the policy. And at the same time, the community is going to watch to see how transparent that investigation ultimately becomes.
Rondo, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, good to see you as well. Appreciate your straight take, as always. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.